Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my virtual classroom. For today, I will be your teacher and we will be discussing all about test of competence, okay? So there are two parts for the test of competence. So for the first part is the computer-based test. And for the second part is the OSCE, which is the Objective Structured Clinical Examination. Guys, same as before, I'll be posting all the useful links and website on the description below.
Welcome back. So for today, we'll be discussing about the CBT and OSCE. So first, we'll be breaking down the video into two. So first, we will be discussing about CBT. So before we start, I would just like to inform you that this video is guidelines for adult test of competence. So everything which I will be discussing is about test of competence for adult nursing, okay? And also, this is only a rundown of the topics which will be included in CBT and OSCE, because when we took the test, we signed a waiver that we are not allowed to disclose any topics or specific topics which are, included in the test. So this will be just a general rundown, okay? So let's get started. So CBT. So actually, when I was reviewing the new guidelines for the CBT and the OSCE, I was surprised because there are some changes on it. I took my CBT, that was 2019. So during my time, it is 120 items and you can answer it for 4 hours. Everything is multiple choice. Now, it's still multiple choice, but it's only 115 items. They shorten also the time. It's only for 3 hours, but it is divided into two parts. Based on the new guideline which I'm reading, first 5 items is about numeracy, which is, I believe, is computations, and the rest, which is remaining 110 questions, is about communication and clinical skills. So I think there's not much difference. It's just that maybe they added more things related to computation. So before, we also have computation, but I remember, I think it's only 2 items. So I'm going to give you now some of the topics which I studied when I took the CBT. So this is quite a long list. So I just wrote down everything which I remember, and I was looking through all the notes which I had before. And these are the topics which I have found that is included in the studying CBT. Guys, when you study CBT, basically you have to study everything related to adult nursing. So if you're really planning to go to UK, I really suggest that you start reading now, slowly. One topic in a day. That's what I did before. I read one topic or 2 chapters in the book which I was reading. So at least I have a background of what the topics which I will be facing during the exam itself. The topics which are included in the exam, I will be including it in this video, but just pause it in case you want to write down or if you want to screenshot, so you may do so. So first, we have standards for medications management, which is very important. So I think this one includes like not only how you calculate medications and drugs when you give them, but also like what are the things you have to remember before giving medications. Number 2 is delegating record keeping and countersigning records. Number 3 is patient safety. Number 4 is care of elderly and adult nursing. So yes, this is very important because this is a test of competence for adult nursing. Number 5 is confidentiality. This is relating to patients' records and record keeping. Number 6, which is very important guys, you really have to read about this one, infection control. They really like asking questions related to this topic, so infection control. Next one is informed consent in health and social care. So this is basically about asking consent in every care that we are providing to patients. Mental Capacity Act. This is a very, very long topic, guys. So please find the time to read about it. It's the Mental Capacity Act 2005, if I'm not mistaken, if I still remember it right. But please, guys, there are lots of questions about this one, so try to go through it thoroughly and try to understand what it is all about. Safeguarding. So safeguarding is also one of the favorite topics here in CBT. So as like same like Mental Capacity Act, try to go through it. Next is professional values. This is how you are going to carry out on being a nurse and like in the ward or whichever area you will be working. And the 6 C's of essential cluster. I forgot about it already. Compassionate. Let me check about. And then, so nursing practice and decision making. So decision making is like, it includes some question about leadership, like for example, if you are a nurse in charge, what are you going to do? Questions like that. So assessment, planning, implementation, and evaluation, APIE. So read on those topics because there are some questions on like it's like when we had in our fundamentals of nursing, like how are you going to assess, like for example, respiratory assessment, gastro assessment, so different kinds of assessment, planning, the what we have in Philippines, what we call it SOPI. So it's the equivalent of that one here in UK. And what else? Leadership, management, and team working. And last but not the least, which is also very important, is GCS and new scoring. Favorite nila yan dito, guys. New scoring and GCS. So it's good to read about all these topics slowly if you don't have your date of exam yet. Let's go to the computation side. Yeah. This is what they're saying, the first part of the first 5 questions of CBT. So it includes fluids and IV lines. So like the same computation which we have before. And drug computation. So calculations on how much dosage are you going to give. There is also some question maybe about like conversion from milligram to gram, something like that. Guys, if for example you need help with the reviewers, I still have my old reviewers from before. So all the review materials are still with me. I have like a soft copy of those. So if you want a copy, put your email address on the comment section and I can send it to you. All right, so that is an old that's a 2019 version, but I believe it's not so far off what they are now giving in the exam. So just additional review materials. Okay, so that's it really for CBT. It's quite a lot. It's a lot of reading. So as I was like saying earlier, before I did the reading like every day, one topic on each. Guys, I'm really sorry because my son is here today, so it's quite loud here in the background. You might hear him. He's there outside in the living room. So for the reference, of course, if you will be taking the CBT here, you need the UK standards. So the reference that I can really give you, which is really accurate of the standards here in UK, is the Royal Marsden Manual of Clinical Nursing Procedures. It's a thick book. I have that one before, and that's the one which I have read to understand these topics. It's really a very, very good book because it really explains step by step on how they do procedures here in UK. So that's it for CBT. I really cannot say much about this because this is all self-study and all like reading. All I can say is like take your time, reading and trying to understand all the process. There are some available sample questions online. I'm searching. Even before, this is what I did. So I practice answering those questions. And that really helps a lot because it gives me an overview on how the questions will look like. It's multiple choice, but it's like, you know, sometimes multiple choice can be quite tricky because it looks like it all has the right answer, but you have to choose the best answer. So let's go to the second part, the OSCE, everybody's favorite. So for OSCE has 4 stations, actually 6 stations, because the first 4 is APIE, which is assessment, planning, implementation, and evaluation. Plus, you will be having 2 stations, which is for skills. So for the first station is assessment. So for assessment, what to expect on that station, you will be having a patient or an actor. Sometimes it's a dummy. During my time, it was a dummy because there were some restrictions because of the COVID. So there are no actors during my OSCE. So everything is dummy. But of course, the assessor is still there. So everything will be about assessment. So on how you will be assessing the patient, taking vital signs, and of course, on how you will be communicating and establishing rapport to the patient and some history taking. Sorry guys, that's all I can say. As I have mentioned earlier, we have signed a waiver that we cannot discuss the specific things which we did during the exam, or else I'm going to lose my pin. Assessment station is 15 minutes. You have 15 minutes to finish that station. So when you're there on your actual test day, there is a big timer digital clock. So you will see how long you have still. So it's quite scary, but it's okay. For the next station is planning. Planning is a silent station. So planning is a silent station because it will be like just all about writing. It's like care planning. So you will be writing your care plan for the patient, which you have met on the first station. So that's it. That's also 15 minutes, same. So there's also timer. You will see how much time is left for you to finish that care plan. All right. So the third station is my favorite station. Implementation. So basically, implementation is a medicine administration station. Guys, when I was still practicing for OSCE, this is also 15-minute station. I never, ever finish this station. I always run out of time. So you might as well practice this station very well, because when you have your practice, you will understand what I'm saying. It's all about, like, you have to read the medications. You have to read patient's details one by one, each page. And then, of course, there are some tricky things on the drug chart that you have to, you know, while you are reading, you have to make, you have to think also, like, if the medications which are there on the drug chart are appropriate for us to give to the patient. That's why for me before, it's really taking time, because I'm reading, and then I'm also like thinking at the same time, should I be giving this medication? Like, there are some traps that's there on that medication, on that drug chart. So practice this one very well. So in this station, you will be seeing this one also. BNF. This is very important. My sister owns this, and this is a very old version. Gucci has this one because, you know, it really helps a lot. So it's like in Philippines, we call it MIMS, like the guide for the medication. So you will see this also. on that station, because there will be a part that you have to show to the assessor that you are checking the medication, what it is for, if you have a correct dosage, and if there will be a side effect or adverse reaction if the patient takes that medication. Okay, so that's your implementation, guys. Station number four is evaluation. So this is another silent station, guys. So it's time, just like you can breathe on this station and relax. It's again writing. It's a writing station. So your assessor will be giving back all the papers which you have from the earlier stations, and then, isn't it, you have a plan from the previous station, you have your planning. So on this station evaluation, you're going to evaluate if the care that you have given to the patient is effective. So it's like closing your your chart for the day. So you're going to evaluate if you are able to give all the care that you have put on your plan, and if there is a referral needed or transfer needed for the patient. So that's also 15 minutes. So all of the station A, P, I, and E are all 15-minute station. I'm not sure now if they change it. During my time when I took the OSCE, assessment station is only 12 minutes because there's no actor. So the vital signs thing is like shortcut. So I don't know now how they are doing it. So anyway, when you go to your trust and have your group review, they will be explaining to you on how they are doing now the OSCE. What are the latest guidelines about OSCE? So for the skill station, these are the topics which will be included. So administration of inhaled medications, peak flow, catheter removal, urinalysis and catheter, specimen of urine, IM injection, subcutaneous injection, input and output recording, aseptic non-touch technique, and basic life support. So during my time, they removed the BLS. There is no basic life support station or resuscitation because of COVID restriction. So I don't know now if they return this station, if it's again like included. So but just review and study about it. Just practice doing BLS. So just to make sure. So what are the techniques that I did to study this OSCE easier? The very first step I did when I studied OSCE is I bought a very nice notebook. Tcharam! With a very nice quotation in front of it. Like, the best way to predict your future is to create it. And it's colorful, you know, it's very lively and it keeps me awake. So when I came here in UK, when I started on the trust which I am working for, so I spoke with the people who just recently had their OSCE, basically the previous batch before me. So I gather all the reviewers which I can get from them, and then after that I go through all the reviewers, and then what I did is I put it on my own notes. So I'm sorry because my son is, you know, very helpful and also doodling on my notebook. So I made like a notes on everything. So all the notes that I was able to get, I put it together in one. Yeah. So after that, after I have my notes, so you know, OSCE is more of testing your communication skills and how are you going to interact or assess the patient. So what I did is I made my own script in each station. Yes, guys, I made my own script. So for the first part, I made the script for assessment and implementation station. And then for all the skills, for each skills, I also made a script for that. So guys, when you make your own script, don't just make your script. Also try to understand that specific topic. So even if you forget the script which you have written, you will not be lost. There are some cases that what people are doing is that, yes, they're also making script, but they rely so much on that script that when they forget what they have written, they get lost. So they stop. At the middle of the test, they don't know what to say because they rely so much on that script. So it would be best if you also understand the flow and specifically what the station is about and the topic on that station. So even if you forget your script, you will not be lost. You can ad-lib. You can still carry on finishing that station. Okay? So that's for my second technique. Number 3. This is my favorite among all. And this is really what I did. It really helped me a lot, guys. So I'm sharing this to you guys. I was checking on my old phone. It's not here anymore. But what I did is that after I've written that script, I recorded myself in voice recorder, guys. Voice recorder. I recorded myself reciting or doing that station. So assessment, implementation, and all the skills. I recorded it all here. It's not here anymore. So I wanted to play it, but I found out I erased it already. So yeah, I recorded myself. And with that, every time I travel going to work, I listen to what I have recorded. Before I go to sleep, I listen to what I recorded. I go to toilet, I listen to what I recorded. Everywhere I go, I just listen, until I'm fed up of my own voice. So, pakinggan nyo ng pakinggan hanggang masuka na kayo sa sarili nyong boses, okay? So, it really helps a lot because it made me remember things. And I'm a type of learner that I learn things through listening. So, it's easier for me to remember things if I listen to them. I cannot keep my attention by just reading. If I'm reading, after a few minutes, I'm already falling asleep. So I find the recording thing very effective. So you might do that as well, guys. And it really helps a lot. Kasi kahit mag-travel ka, kahit saan ka pumunta, kapag break time ko nun, I'm also listening to my recording. So na-memorize ko yung script. And it helps me understand each station and topics which will be included in the OSCE. Okay? I must say that OSCE and CBT are really not so difficult. Just in my opinion. I don't know. Maybe it's easy for me to say because I already finished on that stage. But with enough preparation and review, I think it's easy because it's like when we are doing return demonstration when we were in second year in nursing in Philippines. So it's not new to us anymore, but you really have to find time to sit and study about each topic. And also, guys, don't be afraid to seek help from the previous batches who did the exam, because they are the best people who can give you an advice on what to study, how to study, and how to prepare for the exam. It's always good to find a friend who is honest enough to study with you and to do your assessment to each other, how you are performing. So for example, you will do first the assessment station and your friend will be the assessor. So your friend should be honest enough to tell you that, oh, you did this mistake, you should have improved on this aspect, you should have said this. Not a friend who will just say, oh, you're doing fine. You should have a honest feedback because this will affect on how you will be doing on your exam, okay? So it's always good to have a review partner, okay? Another one which is very important in every station, please master your hand washing, the palm to palm. Oh, I forgot about it already. Hand washing, guys, in every station. It's very important, okay? So that's it for today, guys. I really wish all the best for all of us, for all the nurses. I know all of us can do this. Just keep praying and believing in yourself that you can do this. And of course, it's not only praying, it's also like putting effort on this thing and putting all your heart that you really want this thing and you will achieve it. Okay? So thank you for watching, guys. I hope you learned something from me today. Just please click like, share, and subscribe, please, guys. Thank you very much. I'll see you next week for the next episode. Bye!